Another no for Sean Combs is no pardon for Diddy. Yeah, that's right. It has become clear and we've heard it with our own ears. POTUS has made that very clear in his recent interview on Affinity Exclusive. And I quote, "So, more likely a no for Combs?" And POTUS said no, y'all. Word on the street is that Diddy's team had spread the false narratives. From the jump, they said there were false narratives put out there in the various news medias. They had been getting to various MSMs and, putting this out there. When it turns out that that was not even the case at all. Word is that it was just propaganda. It was propaganda to put out there so that people would start repeating the lie. And that's what everyone did. Not everyone, but some people did it. And so we've heard it. No pardon for Diddy. POTUS has been reminded by several people of Diddy's real feelings toward him. Yes, he has. Journalist and podcaster Megyn Kelly made an extra message, especially to POTUS. Yes, she did. You all can check it out. She said how Diddy said awful things about you. She said it would be an absolute mistake. And she said Diddy doesn't deserve it. Y'all, she went on to say Diddy can't stand you. He doesn't deserve a favor from you. Y'all check it out. She said it. Okay? Yes. And of course, we all know that 50 Cent said some time ago, I think it's been a couple of months ago, he said that he was going to tell POTUS that Diddy didn't deserve a pardon. He has it somewhere on his social media where he was putting up there the exact thing that he wanted to say to POTUS concerning no pardon for Diddy. And I'm like, this is really interesting how this whole cycle goes. To hear that it was Diddy's team that was spreading the narrative, and we can rightly say now it was a false narrative, or we can just put it in the term that it is. It was propaganda to get it on the lips of people, so that people could start saying it and repeating it, and that somehow it would get to POTUS. And y'all, it totally went off. It totally backfired. It totally blew up in their faces because now, it just seems like they have been putting Sean Combs in a bad light. His own people. I mean, in a desperation, I suppose, sort of being transferred to them from Diddy. Maybe Diddy's desperation transferring off on them, and they just felt that they had to do something and to put this out there like this and to get that false narrative going. And now we all see that that's just what it was. I mean, we've all heard it now, you all. We all heard it with our own ears. Go on over there. Look at that Affinity Exclusive. It is all on social media that POTUS said no. No to Diddy. And so, as I said, we all saw in the courtroom trial how Diddy was frantically passing notes to his attorneys, as if he himself was running that whole thing. And we know he was, because we know this man is paying these people big bucks. And he expects them to do exactly what he tells them to do. And so, that being the case, getting an idea of the desperation that we saw there with Diddy, just passing the notes when things didn't go as he wanted them to on the stand, or when someone said something on the stand that he didn't like, Diddy was frantically passing notes to his attorneys. And, they were just all over the place, bouncing here and bouncing there, trying to fulfill this man's every request. And so it was the same thing with this propaganda that they put out here about a pardon, which was never the case, because these people are run by their client. And you would say, well, what's wrong with that? After all, he's paying them millions. Exactly. And so this is what has happened. So I just think they just made it worse for Diddy. I think, in my opinion, they made it so bad until, again, the judge is looking on this. The judge is denied bail again. Once again, the new prosecutor appointed by Trump has come forth and says he wants even a longer or a more substantial sentence or prison time for Diddy. And y'all, look at it. It came as a result of these people, his own team, out here dilly-dallying and putting all this out there and not controlling the antics of their client. Because you all know, Trump also, in that interview, he said that he heard about there was a celebration, after the verdict, and well, it wasn't a long-lived celebration, something to that effect. Y'all watch that interview, because I'm saying this because it goes back to how the people who supposedly are for Diddy, how they seem to have messed it up for him, out there celebrating outside the courtroom and partying. And that even got back to POTUS. That got back to him, where he made a statement about that in his interview with Finnerty. He made that statement. Yeah, I heard they were out there celebrating. Well, it wasn't much of a celebration. Y'all, his team has got to do better.